Hey, life is hard. Well, at least it is for most of us, with few exceptions. But let's face it, most people who grow up rich or entitled probably won't be getting their education here at SPC, at least not because they have to. The rest of us, well, we just have to push through the best we can until we find something that works. But what's that going to be? I'm 52 years old and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So what do? I come back to school here at SPC to find a better way to make a living. I choose a major that of course requires some general education courses, including this public speaking course. Then I find out public speaking uses more technology than my computer classes, and I have to do a PowerPoint presentation. I've never done one of those before. What am I going to do? Time to learn. The truth is, most of us have had more than a few jobs in our lives where some type of computer skills are needed. These jobs exist in all areas of the workforce. We usually have to learn the needed computer skills on the fly with whatever help we could get from coworkers. But we all know how frustrating that can be. Getting bad information can be worse than none at all. In a turn-of-the-century survey, Statistics Canada published a catalog indicating that trial and error is the most common way for both men and women to learn computer skills. That was reported by Heather Dryberg in her article by the same name. This graph shows the increase in the percentage of the population using computers at work during the mid-90s. Back then, the level had risen to about half of the population. Imagine what it must be up to by now. Unfortunately, jobs are a lot harder to come by these days. In an article from Northeastern University about the changing labor market context, Nita Fogg and Paul Harrington refer to huge job losses that took place during the recent recession. These were accompanied by a decrease in available jobs, resulting in a corresponding surplus of unemployed people for fewer jobs. And while the unemployment rate has stabilized a bit more recently, it certainly hasn't gotten much better. And then there's the internet. That mysterious force that brings information to our homes. Accept it. We live in a digital world. Mankind has progressed to the point when a computer education is not just a useful skill set to possess, but a necessary component to basic and higher education, along with the 3 R's. You know what those are. We all need to understand how to operate these powerful machines that have embedded themselves in every aspect of our lives. Some type of computer science education will benefit everyone. It's hard to believe that it's been almost 10 years since Bill Gates said in Information Week that he's baffled more students don't go into computer science. Even if young people don't know that salaries and job openings in computer science are on the rise, they're hooked on so much technology. Well, here's a tip for incoming and current college students. If you want to have a high-paying job on graduation day, study computer science. That's the advice coming out of the top U.S. computer science programs, according to Carolyn Duffy Marzan in her Network World article from just a few years ago. The same article reports that college students discover that their job prospects are better and their starting salaries higher if they have a computer-related degree. Around the same time, Cornell University conducted a survey of its corporate recruiters to identify the computer skills that employers expect college graduates to have mastered, not just have some experience in. Here are some of those. The results of the study can be found in an article on THE Journal by Philip Davis. The study showed that 83% of those polled indicated that computer competency skills are either important or very important in the hiring decision. Oh, and by the way, let's not forget about this computer skill. Try to imagine, if you will, what your life could be like if you truly and completely understood how to operate all of the computer and information systems that were available to you. No matter what you do for a living, or if you don't work at all, understanding the use of computers will simplify your life and make it better. Do you remember my initial panic at the prospect of creating a PowerPoint presentation? Well, that was put to rest by a 60-minute YouTube video. Do you sense a theme here? Computers impact our lives from every aspect. Healthcare is one of the biggest uses of advances in computers. In fact, I had a hip replacement 2 years ago utilizing robot-assisted techniques to align the components. It's nice to know that both my legs are still the same length. If you're interested, you can see the details of the procedure at informahealth.com. And if you're looking at the screen, you'll see what my hip looked like before the surgery. More recently, though, Marek Ogiela and Tomas Hajaj wrote an article for Advances in Computer Vision and Pattern Recognition, describing the Natural User Interface, or NUI. as opposed to the graphical user interface that we're all familiar with known as Windows. The NUI is a type of human-machine interaction based on the automatic analysis of the user's natural behavior. A lot like Smart TV, which senses the gestures of the user and converts them to input. Now that you can see so many of the benefits that computer use can bring to your life, it's time to get started. Figure out what area of computer education would best suit your needs and go for it already. What are you waiting for? A good first step would be to check out the program descriptions at myspc.edu. Then, you may want to contact a member of the computer science faculty here at SPC to give you more advice. I'd recommend Chrissy Risberg. She's the department chair on the Tarpon Springs campus and has been a great help to me from the start. If you have the motivation to do it yourself, there are plenty of online resources available, either through SPC or from other areas. We already mentioned YouTube, but Microsoft.com's support pages are full of useful information, as is W3C.org. They're the World Wide Web Commission, and they're responsible for advancing compatibility and all-around access of the Internet. In other words, the computer can teach you how to use the computer. Whatever you decide, there's no time like the present. The technology is all around us. Computers are in the workplace. A year from now, you'll either be a year closer to your goals or just another year older. It's the digital age. Don't be left behind.